And here we go now with patient file number 6. It's that time with the archives run. Once again, where I explain the monstrous creature scenarios and situations which you probably wouldn't survive if all of a sudden they kind of became real. And when it comes to patient file number 6, this one, yeah, I'm just going to be completely honest. This one's going to generate a hell of a lot of debate. Thankfully, I do think more people are going to agree with what I have to say about this one, patient file number 6, than there are going to be people who are going to disagree with me. But anyway, patient file number 6 is The Death Angels from A Quiet Place, the franchise. I really do like it whenever it comes to a horror story, whenever they depict basically what's referred to as day 1, or more specifically, I think we refer to these disasters as day 0, when that day comes along when shit first hit the fan. The movies, especially day 1, do a great job, and I mean a fantastic job of depicting just exactly how woefully unprepared we would be if, alien creatures from outer space suddenly just decided to pull up and just, ruin our day, our whole entire planet, our species, everything. And then from there, what parts, little bits and pieces, pockets of humanity that survived. Now we have to survive by not producing any kind of really loud noises. Yeah, we're not really that screwed, because I don't think we would end up this so far to the point of us being surviving like this. I really don't think this would happen. Now this is where that, where I think everybody's going to be a little bit debating. If some people are going to say, no, we would be this point, and other people are going to say, no, we wouldn't. Here we go. First up, got to give credit where credit is due. When it comes to the physiology of the Death Angel, these things are built like tanks on 4 legs. They're pretty almost indestructible. Somehow, someway, these things are so durable, they actually managed to survive the whole entire process of entering Earth's atmosphere. That's kind of hot. And somehow they survived that, and then they also survived big kaboom things thrown their way. And when I say they survive everything from a kaboom, they survive everything. Most people think that if you're outside of the actual explosion, all the fire and the smoke and stuff, you're going to survive. No, that's not how that works. The Death Angel survives not only the fire and the smoke and all that, but they also survive the concussive force, the kinetic energy produced by a big kaboom. Even if you're outside the fire and everything, that's your force, that shock wave, whenever it hits you, that's going to rupture damn near anything and everything inside your body, even if it doesn't, directly harm your skin. And yeah, the Death Angel, it survives all of this. But the thing, and this is where my sense of realism, my sense of disbelief is completely shattered. You mean to tell me the Death Angel, okay, sure, it can survive space, it can survive entry into our atmosphere, and even the crash landing, it can survive, big kabooms, but you mean to tell me that the Death Angels can also survive, not just survive the combined military might of all of humanity, but they also managed to overcome all of this? I refuse to believe this. You mean, the movies tell me that they not only survived that, but overcame the combined military might of all of humanity, and somehow their hide is somehow, some way, durable enough to survive 30 millimeter fire from like an Apache attack helicopter? Oh, hell no. I refuse to believe this. Even if you have disagreed with me up to this point, this is where I'm going to start to win you over. Trust me. All right. Now let's just say, for the sake of argument, that yes, they did overcome the collective might of all of humanity's military power, and now it just kind of basically falls down to the people to actually defend themselves and, stop the aliens. This is where we start to win. Here we go. Here's an idea. How about you cut loose the mad scientist types, okay? This is what we live and breathe for. You give us one life specimen, 48 hours, and trust me, okay? Just trust me, okay? I've been, this isn't my first rodeo. Just trust me, we'll cook up something that'll attack them with some kind of biological agent. Something that'll show the Death Angels that there's something far worse to fall into other than just like the ocean or a body of water. Something a little extra toasty. Like, seriously, why didn't we ever try to, lure them into, bodies of acid with really loud music? Why didn't anybody think of that? Just saying. But even if we couldn't cook up some type of parasite or virus that could be designed to specifically target the Death Angels, there is something far more dangerous than even this. Oh yes, something far worse. And that's something called the Children of the South. Emergency contacts, the emergency broadcast comes on, and then it tells everybody, okay, to drop the angels, ladies and gentlemen, you have to land that nice wicked headshot. If you tell anybody here in the Midwest, especially down here in the South, that's all that we gotta do. Trust. Praise Neil, raise hail, boys. We've been waiting for this day. Every zombie apocalypse enthusiast is gonna come out of the woodworks, and they will happily throw themselves right into the fray to try to land that nice wicked headshot on the Death Angel, for sure. Now, some of y'all are gonna make the argument, well, wait a minute. The Death Angels, they're kind of fast. It's not gonna be easy to land that hit. Buddy, do you know how good some of these marksmen are here in the Midwest, especially down here in the South? Yeah, at that point, I would actually be the one. I wouldn't pity humanity at that point. I would pity the Death Angels. There's no contest. And believe you me, there's all type of hidden psychopaths and sociopaths among us. Trust me when I say some of y'all just really do not understand just exactly how accurate some people can be. That's not to say the Death Angels aren't just going to be like this easy pushover just because, everybody says, all right, let's get our lead injectors and just, mow down the herd. No, it's not going to be that easy, okay? Because yes, you are correct. The Death Angels, yes, they are very quick, and if they close the distance, yeah, there's no contest. If they close the distance, it's game over. The average Death Angel is said to be anywhere between 6 to 9 feet tall, and they come in weighing around 900 pounds. Again, if these things get their hands on you, game over. And while humanity, while we're going to be, recoiling and doing what we can to regroup and basically survive all of this, alien invasion stuff happening on the surface, humanity is definitely going to flee underground. And yes, I do kind of, I don't have a tinfoil hat here, but I do think we do have some underground facilities that would give humanity far more of a fighting chance than what's been depicted in the movies. The downside is that while we're doing what we can to survive, the whole entire, restoration efforts, even if we do win, is going to be the biggest nightmare. Because don't forget, the Death Angels, they don't track down and hunt us humans exclusively. Anything that produces any type of movement, especially anything that tends to have a little bit of a heartbeat, the Death Angels target them. So again, even if we do survive and defeat and wipe them all out, the whole entire restoration effort of humanity is going to be difficult to sell because crops are going to be, they're going to need us to reattend them because they're going to have gone to shit because, again, there wasn't anybody to attend the fields. And when it comes to animal life and, cattle and everything, they're probably going to be on the verge of extinction at that point. Because at that point, like I said, pretty much all forms of known animal life are probably going to be, almost gone. While the Death Angels would definitely do a number on us, I don't think they would push us to, the brink of what we've seen in the movies. But again, they would do a hell of a number on the human species. Again, whenever, we see crops have basically just gone to shit because we weren't there to attend to them. Animal life populations are going to plummet. So again, it's not going to be easy, even if we do win. And I do think we would win, especially when eventually their weakness would be discovered and we would exploit that weakness, how they're have that intense sensitivity to that specific frequency. Yeah, we would find this, we would exploit it, and then it would be game over for them pretty quickly. Because again, the moment those face flaps, those mandibles, whatever you want to call them, the moment they open up and anybody sees that red, trust, Grandma Asylum would be calling me up to pick these things off her front lawn the moment she saw that red. Headshot! Time for the verdict. On a scale of 1 to 10, and remember, the higher the rating, the less chance that you or humanity in this instance would have of surviving the Death Angels from the Quiet Place. And are these things dangerous? Absolutely. But are they that dangerous as what we saw in the movies? No, I don't think so. And that's why I'm giving the Death Angels from a Quiet Place a 4 out of 10. That's pretty low. But again, the real danger isn't even the angels themselves. It's actually just the restoration effort of how fast we would bounce back, and it wouldn't be that quick at all. I'll do it this time for the breakdown. If you agreed with me or disagreed with me, please let me know over here in the comments, and especially if you agree with me, if you think the Death Angels aren't that dangerous. But again, that'll do it for the breakdown this time. If you enjoyed, please make sure to give me a follow, like, and a comment, and definitely make sure you hit that follow right over there so I can continue to keep you informed on all things video games, trailers, comics, and more. But again, I hope you all enjoyed the breakdown. I hope to see y'all in the next one.